Hey everybody, welcome back to T.G.I. Fantasy.
We are playing Final Fantasy Tactics still, and we have to cross these plains and hope that we don't fight a battle.
Let's go to the
Sweegy Woods?
Sweegy.
Sweegs!
It's like, get the Swifty Woods.
Oh, get swifty.
Drop your pants in the panties. Squat, shit on the floor. Gonna get squeaky in here.
Hey, people, everybody, have you heard about this show called Rick and Morty? Like, I feel like more people are subscribed to Carriage than watch Rick and Morty, so I think it's our duty
to give them a shout out.
Yeah, like, shout out to Rick and Morty, everybody. Alright, we're gonna end up having a fight that... Okay, oh, thank Jesus. Alright, is this a story battle?
Yes, it is.
So they'll be under level. After the last episode, Joe generously, he took time out of his day to level grind a little bit, like really just like one battle. Oh. But hey, it was worth it, everybody. So
yeah. And then
please write in a comment right now and thank Joe for doing a little bit of level grinding because he deserves it.
That second battle did not go well.
No, he died. He was like getting beat up by chocobos.
Yeah, those chocobos are bastards.
Chocobo, you're so fine.
Are you referencing an OC remix song?
Yeah, baby.
That is the tiniest Venn diagram of all time.
There might be more people that watch Carriage than listen to that song.
No.
What rotten luck. Oh wait, let's see. Algus. What rotten luck meeting monsters in a place like this. It's not quite right, but...
Don't gripe, Algus. It's better than guarding a castle. Is it?
This matter is of life and death. How can you say that? I'll get there eventually. I'll get back. Enough. Here they come.
Gross. I can do it too.
The goblins are coming. You. Where's Zalsak when you need him? Yasunori Mitsuno knew what he was doing. He knew.
No, you're thinking of Masato, or
Yasunori Mitsuda, buddy.
Yasunori Mitsuda. Oh, no, that you're thinking of Yasumi Matsuno.
Damn it.
Yasunori Mitsuda is the composer from Chrono Trigger, Xenogears, and Chrono.
Damn you, Yasumi Matsuno, and your name that sounds like Yasunori Mitsuda, kind of. Damn you.
It's Yasunori Mitsuda, Yasmat.
Burning your Final Fantasy 12 hell.
Man, I would so love for him to be making a new game, to be like he did that.
Come on, Square, what are you doing, bud?
He did that thing where, like, you know, everybody does. They
Joe, you're attacking right now.
I'm getting back into it. It's been a week. God damn it, it's been a week.
It's been like a decade since you last played, so Rom says a beastie boy, so I think you can take it.
But yeah, Yasumi Matsuno had written that quest line for Final Fantasy 14, and people were damn it,
Leonard. And people acted like it was good.
Yeah, I mean, but it was just kind of just a rehash of events from Final Fantasy 12, and I'm like, is that good?
Well, I think it was kind of enlightening, like, in recent years, to see so many like Japanese creators doing these interviews and like honestly opening up about their experiences. And I sort of feel like it seems like Yasumi Matsuno didn't actually ever really want to be the writer of these games. It's just like he's kind of forced into it through like different circumstances. And so like I have more sympathy for him as like, well, I don't put all the blame on Square Enix anymore of like, come on, Square, what are you doing? Why aren't you getting him to do this? And he like,
because maybe he doesn't want to.
Yeah, because like he was acting like he didn't want to do the story, be the writer of Final Fantasy Tactics at least. He's like, nah, man, like I want to, do other, but well, or was it 12 that he didn't want to be the writer of?
No, it's Tactics. You're right. In that interview, like he wanted just to be the gameplay designer.
Real quick, that fire, I can't remember what they're called, but like you just
the bombs.
Oh, poor me, I'm so sad.
It's like he's an emoji. I'm sad.
Yeah, turn that into your Resetta avatar. So it was Tactics that he didn't want to write.
Yes.
And I mean, like, presumably, like, I mean, if you extend it past that, I mean, it seems like he honestly didn't want to be like the writer of a lot of things, and also like have some sympathy as like from a creator standpoint. Like, it probably you feel like I've done my best work. I've done like some classics, some games that people really love. Like, what am I really going to do now that people love more than what I've already made, or is better than what I've already made? And I kind of feel like, maybe you just sort of feel like, hey, get out while the going is good. People still like your stuff. People still respect you as a creator, and like just kind of leave it at that. Basically, early retirement. You do like a couple consulting jobs on things as things go on, as time goes on. But for the most part, you just, chill out.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, like, honestly, like, how much money you make from being a game director, especially if you're the game director of Final Fantasy 12, how much money did you make?
Probably not a lot.
Probably not like a ton, not enough to retire, certainly, but maybe like enough that you kind of just can coast for a few years, and then by the time those few years are over, it's too hard to get back into the main, like, directorial role, and you just kind of chill.
Yeah, and like, that explains like people like Masashi Kato or
Aldous. Better not die on me, damn it.
Yoshinaka Murayama or Junko Kaono or... Yeah, it's no big deal. I'm not worried.
I mean,
yeah, like, I think about that, like my favorite creators, they've been out of the game for, a decade or two. What is the chances of them getting back in? And it's like non-existent.
I mean, I think it'd be so incredibly difficult because, like, on a technical level, like, to be a game director, you need to understand at least the basics of like so many different fields, like 3D modeling and animation and like, because I think you need to be like you're essentially like the big boss. You need to know at least a little bit of everything to be like, this is not working.
Or like, you at least to have a team to delegate.
And I feel like teams are so much more like massive now that maybe in the past it would sort of be like, well, you're running a team, but that team is in your same office space. You're the faces of everybody who's working on this game.
But yeah, now
you have like 300, 500 team studios across the world of people doing distance things and whatever. And I think it would be very difficult to be like a director of that, and then to be put in that position where it's like, hey, I directed a cult classic from the 90s. And they're like, so, like, we're going to hire the person that, was co-lead producer of
Assassin's Creed 15.
Because that person has experience managing a team this big internationally through distance things, and they have a fundamental understanding of how, like, the game industry works in the modern era. Because it is, I think, changed a lot since then.
No, absolutely. And like, I kind of think that it sort of makes Death Stranding special in that you have somebody like Hideo Kojima, that he kind of Konami cut the legs out of underneath of him, in that like he just doesn't have that support network. And then like essentially Guerrilla Games went in and became just like stepped in to become that support network,
Yeah, and I mean, Death Stranding is like a super special game because of that, because you still have like that integrity of this classic person who's sort of, in a lot of ways, like rooted in like old game ideologies, like game design ideologies, but they've still been in the industry to kind of know how it's evolved and things.
Mm-hmm.
Like Kojima's like, I think, in a very unique position that he might be the only person in that position of, I've been in the industry this long and I'm still relevant and still have enough like support from both the fans and companies. Like what other creator? I mean, maybe like, you could have like
Fumito Ueda.
Yeah.
I mean, and maybe not even then.
Maybe Fumito Ueda, maybe like Miyazaki from Software. He's been in the industry a long time.
But I mean, he's the president of his own studio, so.
But like those are special instances where you have people who still sort of know the old way and the new way.
Yeah. Yeah, generally it seems like, even in the West, like, people like Amy Hennig aren't even cutting it. Patrice Désilets, who the Assassin's Creed guy, like, he was too old school for modern Ubisoft,
Mm-hmm. And then he went on. Was he the guy that made that Ancestors game? That
yes,
was stupid.
That studio just got bought by Google Stadia or Google.
Oh well, maybe that's good for them or absolutely terrible for them.
How did that work for what's that studio that got bought by Amazon?
Double Helix.
Yeah, how did that work for Double Helix?
We don't talk about Double Helix on this YouTube channel. Yeah, I don't know. It's just such an interesting industry because, I mean, how often... I mean, clearly through the eras, like, there's people have been parts of, like, the movie industry growing and things like that, but... And I mean, even, like, television, I feel like, has really evolved in the past decade. Like, as, like, a media... Like, as an art medium. Like, I feel like television has gotten a lot better than it used to be. And, like the philosophies behind making good TV shows has changed. But, like, with games, it's, like, changed so much so quickly.
Oh, yeah. Because it's so, like, tech-tied. Like, it's like, I think the film industry or, like, any other, like, storytelling medium is less tied to technology. Like, writing, like, you need the printing press, but after the printing press is invented, like, what is the technology that changes books?
Yeah, other than just like cultural change and
right. And then once film is invented, like there are like special
editing
effects
and editing techniques and things like that. But
yeah,
I mean, like this game, like Final Fantasy Tactics, to looking at Death Stranding now, it's so different. It's just like a completely different medium at this point.
Yeah.
Just through this forest, and we're almost to Daughter. Daughter sounds kind of like Data. If I had it with some sort of accent, I don't know.
I mean, but at the same time, like, I'm just... The games that I think are the best are games that I think you could simulate on, like, an NES.
Yeah.
Like Dragon Quest XI, you could have an NES version of Dragon Quest.
Well, I mean, Dragon Quest is kind of a special example because it's so, like, traditional.
Yeah.
It's so built upon, like, those classic...
But I think you could make a NES Death Stranding that would be important.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you could. You definitely could. I mean, I think it would... But it's the difference between something that would be a novelty and something that I think is sort of genre-defining.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I feel like it would be like... kind of like, like Papers, Please?
Mm-hmm.
Like, never played it, but I'm... aware of
familiar with the concept, yeah.
That, like, it's like, oh, that's a cool idea. But I feel like Death Stranding is, oh, that's a cool idea, brought to, like, this is actually something that...
This is a full-featured thing.
Yeah. Like, yeah. I feel like Papers, Please could be a full-featured thing with the budget, and, like, the team... to like make, and I like not to say like not to diminish Papers, Please. Like I don't mean to do that. It's what it is.
It's the difference between a short film and a feature length theatrical release.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, but I like when you look at Death Stranding, and it's like Death Stranding is like, okay, we're gonna make a walking simulator, and you go, all right. But it's like, no, you don't understand. We're gonna make a walking simulator, and they're like,
So you have to worry about tripping on rocks.
Yeah, and so it's like, this is like redefining a genre as opposed to like, oh, this is a really awesome, cool conceptual idea. Like, I wonder where this could go from here, instead of like, oh, we're here. You know what I mean?
No, I totally understand.
And I don't, yeah, and like that's like no diss, no calling shots here at Papers, Please. It's just like, I just wonder, you know, there's still like evolution to Papers, Please, where it's like with Walking Simulator, if you don't follow like Death Stranding's walking mechanics and like that idea of like just tons of procedural animations, like worrying about your balance and your weight and how you move in a space, like, you need to follow that now. That's the new standard. If that makes sense.
No, totally.
Leonard.
Oh.
I don't think he was in that.
Oh, yeah, he wasn't even in the... Okay. Eager. Anyway, agreed. Anyway, let's, I'll just do this off camera.
Okay. Shall we see everybody next Friday?
Let's
play.
Bye.